There comes a time in every person's life when they begin to question the nature of their existence. Who am I? Why am I here? What is the purpose of life? These questions have haunted humanity for centuries, and the answers often seem elusive, hidden beneath the weight of everyday struggles. Yet, over 5,000 years ago, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, a divine conversation unfolded, one that would become one of the most profound spiritual discourses in human history. This sacred dialogue, known as the Bhagavad Gita, is more than just an ancient scripture. It is a guide to life, an exploration of the soul, and a roadmap to ultimate liberation. Before we dive into the depths of this timeless wisdom, take a moment to ground yourself in the present. If you believe that true knowledge is the key to inner peace, write in the comments, "I seek wisdom beyond illusion." And if this message resonates with you, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. It helps more seekers find this sacred knowledge. The Bhagavad Gita is set on the eve of a great war, a conflict between two royal families over power and righteousness. But the battlefield is more than just a physical location. It is a metaphor for the eternal struggle within the human mind. Standing at the center of this turmoil is Arjuna, a warrior paralyzed by doubt, torn between his duty and his emotions. His heart is heavy with despair as he faces the reality of fighting his own relatives, teachers, and friends. It is at this moment of crisis that his charioteer, Krishna, reveals his true divine nature and imparts the wisdom of the universe. The first lesson of the Gita begins with a simple yet profound truth. You are not this body. The physical form is temporary, subject to birth, growth, decay, and death. But the soul, the true self, is eternal. Krishna tells Arjuna, as a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, abandoning the old and useless ones. This realization shatters the illusion of mortality and reveals a greater reality. We are spiritual beings on a human journey, not the other way around. This understanding changes everything. If we are not our bodies, then we are also not our fears, our failures, or our temporary identities. The soul is beyond suffering, beyond attachment, beyond limitations. But why, then, do we feel so lost, so entangled in the chaos of life? Krishna explains that it is due to Maya, the great illusion. Maya keeps us bound to the material world, convincing us that temporary pleasures and possessions define our happiness. But just as a dream fades upon waking, so too can this illusion be broken through knowledge and self-realization. Yet, knowing this truth is not enough. The Bhagavad Gita is not a book of passive contemplation. It is a call to action. Krishna urges Arjuna to rise above his doubts and fulfill his duty without hesitation. This introduces one of the most powerful teachings of the Gita, Karma Yoga, the path of selfless action. You have the right to perform your prescribed duties, Krishna declares, but you are not entitled to the fruits of your actions. In other words, act with dedication, but do not be attached to the outcome. This principle liberates us from the chains of anxiety and disappointment, allowing us to live with purpose and clarity. As Arjuna listens, his mind begins to awaken to a new perspective, but his heart still wavers. If detachment is the key, should he abandon his responsibilities altogether? Krishna anticipates this doubt and introduces another essential path: Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion. "Surrender unto me," he says, "and I will deliver you from all suffering. Do not fear." This is not a command of blind obedience, but an invitation to trust in a higher intelligence. By dedicating one's actions, thoughts, and life to the divine, a person moves beyond selfish desires and experiences a state of true inner peace. But the journey of self-discovery does not end here. It deepens with each chapter, revealing more layers of truth, more keys to unlocking the secrets of the soul. The Bhagavad Gita does not present a single path to enlightenment. Instead, it offers multiple approaches, recognizing that each soul is unique. In addition to Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, Krishna introduces Jnana Yoga, the path of knowledge. This is the path of deep contemplation, where one seeks to understand the nature of reality through wisdom and discernment. Krishna describes how a wise person sees beyond dualities, beyond joy and sorrow, gain and loss, success and failure. They remain steady like a deep ocean, unmoved by the waves of life. To cultivate this wisdom, one must develop detachment, but not in the sense of apathy or indifference. True detachment is an inner state of freedom, where actions are performed with full dedication but without selfish motives. This teaching is especially relevant in today's world, where people often chase external achievements, hoping they will bring lasting happiness. Yet Krishna reminds us that everything in the material world is temporary. That which is born must die, and that which dies will be born again. The wise do not grieve for what is inevitable. They focus on what is eternal. Arjuna, still absorbing these revelations, begins to understand that the war he faces is not just an external conflict, but an internal battle. It is the battle between ignorance and wisdom, between fear and courage, between illusion and truth. Krishna takes this understanding even further by revealing the concept of dharma, the sacred duty of an individual. He explains that every person has a unique role in the grand design of the universe. To abandon one's dharma out of fear or attachment is to reject the very purpose of existence. This teaching challenges Arjuna's doubts at their core. He realizes that his hesitation is not an act of wisdom, but an escape from responsibility. Krishna urges him forward, reminding him that a life lived in alignment with Dharma is a life of true fulfillment. This is not about blind duty, but about acting in harmony with one's highest nature. It is better to fail in the pursuit of one's own Dharma than to succeed in the path of another, Krishna declares. At this moment, the conversation takes a dramatic turn. Krishna, who has so far been Arjuna's friend and guide, reveals his ultimate form, his Vishvarupa, the universal form. This divine vision transcends anything Arjuna could have imagined. He sees countless faces, infinite arms, galaxies being created and destroyed in a single breath. It is a sight of overwhelming majesty, a glimpse of the divine force that governs all of existence. Arjuna, overcome with awe and humility, falls to his knees. "I see you in all directions," he says. "You are time itself, the beginning and the end." This revelation is a reminder that human life is but a fleeting moment in the vast expanse of eternity. Yet, within this brief existence, each soul has the opportunity to awaken. Krishna reassures Arjuna that he is not alone, that the divine is always present within him, guiding him, supporting him. "Fix your mind on me," Krishna says. "Be devoted to me, worship me, and you will come to me without fail." At this point, Arjuna's doubts dissolve. He sees with clarity. He understands that surrender is not weakness, but strength. That detachment is not abandonment, but true freedom. He stands up, ready to face the battlefield, not out of anger, not out of ego, but out of duty and devotion. But what does this mean for us today? How can these ancient teachings be applied in a world so vastly different from Arjuna's? The Bhagavad Gita is not just a conversation from the past. It is a message for all time. It teaches us how to face our own battles, how to rise above fear, how to act without attachment, and how to connect with something greater than ourselves. And just like Arjuna, we too must decide. Will we be paralyzed by doubt, or will we step forward with wisdom and courage? The Bhagavad Gita is not merely a text to be studied. It is a guide to be lived. Its teachings are not confined to a battlefield thousands of years ago. They are as relevant now as they were then. Every day, we face our own Kurukshetra, our own internal struggles between doubt and duty, between fear and faith. The lessons of the Gita give us the tools to navigate life with clarity, strength, and inner peace. One of the most profound takeaways from Krishna's teachings is the idea of balance. In a world driven by extremes, ambition or complacency, indulgence or renunciation, the Gita advocates for a middle path, a life of harmony. Krishna says, "A person who is balanced in eating, sleeping, working, and recreation, who is disciplined in all activities, can transcend suffering." This wisdom is a reminder that spirituality is not about escaping the world, but about engaging with it consciously. But how does one live a life of spiritual awareness in a material world? Krishna offers a simple yet powerful answer. Practice yoga, not just in the physical sense, but in the deepest sense of the word. Yoga means union, the connection between the self and the divine. Whether through selfless action, karma yoga, devotion, bhakti yoga, or knowledge, jnana yoga, the goal is the same: to rise above the illusions of the temporary and connect with the eternal. Many people today seek happiness in fleeting pleasures, wealth, status, recognition. But Krishna warns that these are like mirages in the desert. They may satisfy temporarily, but they can never quench the thirst of the soul. True fulfillment comes not from accumulating, but from realizing our eternal nature. This realization does not mean abandoning life's responsibilities. It means approaching them with a new mindset, one free from attachment and ego. As Arjuna prepares for battle, he is no longer bound by fear. He understands that his actions are part of a greater cosmic order. He does not fight out of hatred, nor does he seek victory for personal gain. He fights because it is his dharma, his sacred duty, and in doing so, he becomes free. This is the essence of liberation, not the absence of action, but the freedom found in right action. And so, the question arises, how can we apply these teachings in our own lives? The first step is awareness. Becoming conscious of our thoughts, our motivations, and our attachments allows us to see where we are bound by illusion. The second step is practice. Through meditation, mindfulness, and selfless service, we gradually align ourselves with higher truths. And finally, the most important step, surrender. Not surrender in the sense of giving up, but surrendering to a greater wisdom, trusting that there is a deeper order to life. Krishna's final words to Arjuna are among the most powerful in the Gita. Abandon all varieties of duty and surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. This is the ultimate reassurance, that we are never alone, that we are always guided, that the journey of the soul is eternal. Now, as this journey of understanding comes to a close, ask yourself, what is your Kurukshetra? What battles do you face? What attachments hold you back from realizing your true self? The answers lie within, waiting to be unlocked. If this message has resonated with you, write in the comments, I embrace the wisdom of the Gita. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. Together, let us continue this journey of awakening, uncovering the timeless truths that illuminate the path of the soul.